Hello, welcome to Hobbies of Holly. I'm Holly. This is my Flosstube about cross-stitching, sometimes some quilting and other crafty things. I'm so glad you joined me. If you're new, welcome. I hope you'll stick around. And if you're returning, triple welcome. Thank you for coming back and for all the support and the likes and the comments. It really means a lot. I hope that you all have had a good week. It's only been a week this time. We've been in the hospital a lot, and I decided to take a day off today. My laundry needed me, and I needed to catch up on just some returns and opening packages and that sort of thing. Graham actually had gone back to ICU this week for a few days, but he is now back on the floor in step down, and he's stable today. So it's a weekend. His daddy is with his mommy. So here I am. And I had a couple finishes I wanted to show you and a new start since we last spoke. In the background, do you see that quilt, that Holly Hobby quilt? I loved Holly Hobby. As a child of the 70s, if you went to any kind of store, I think Stuckey's is the one that sticks in my mind. When we would travel, there was always like a display, one of those spinning displays with like bicycle license plates or keychains or a necklace with your name on it. Never was there a Holly. There was a Helen, but never a Holly. Every time I would go, just maybe today's the day there would be a Holly. Nope. So when Holly Hobby came out, I loved it because she had my name. And my sister's name is Amy, and there was also an Amy version of it, and I think a Heather and maybe someone else. So I've loved Holly Hobby. My oldest daughter, who's gonna turn 40 this year, I cross-stitched when she was a baby, when I was pregnant with her. And I had asked her a while back, in your stuff I've sent home with you, do you have that teddy bear I cross-stitched for you? I would love to see it. And in searching for things, she found this. I had totally forgotten that my grandmother, who was a quilter, made this for my daughter when I was pregnant with her. Isn't that fun? I said, I'll take that, please. So she's letting me borrow it for a while. Also, if we're ever at a retreat together, I will probably give you my floss tags. And this is my Holly Hobby doll from childhood that I took a picture and had my floss tags made. So that's my story of that. As I said, it's been another week in the hospital, but it's been a good week. I told you last time that some of my grandchildren were coming to visit last weekend, and they did, and we had so much fun. 4 of my grandchildren, Leo, Penelope, Rory, and Stella, all came to spend a night and to play with us, and it was just a really nice break and good to squeeze those babies. So a lot of you had wished us well in that visit, and I appreciate that. We had fun. I have a finish, and I actually fully finished it. Remember, I was working on Easter Parade by Blackbird Designs, and I was working on this basket. So this week I finished the basket and I made a pillow. I love how it turned out. Again, I stitched this on 32 count limestone by Zweigart. And I used all the called for floss. And I just think it's so pretty and springy and Eastery. I used number 12 Stitch Co. She offers a velvet, and so I used that on the back, and then this is her trim. And I love this trim. You'll see I use it a lot because it kind of hides a multitude of sins. Where I've stitched the bottom of my pillow, you can't really tell because of adding this trim to it. I'll show you how it comes. It comes on a card, and it comes, let's see, sort of like this, but I iron it flat like this, and then I just tack it on. And I don't even use that many tacking stitches, and it just stays well, and then I just fluff it up. So I was trying to choose between this pink and this purple. And I know not everybody is a lover of purple, but I really like purple, especially the right purple. So I thought it turned out really cute. I also brought along a previous finish, which is, I think it's called The Rabbit and the Rose by Brenda Gervais. I finished this 2 years ago. And again, I used number 12 Stitch Co. Nicola is her name. I used her trim on this. This reminds me, I fill my pillows with a combination of either lizard litter or wool roving or sawdust. And I got a tip when I was finishing this. Tammy and I went to a retreat. It was our very first retreat, and it was by two tall stitchers. Do you watch Carol and Jen? I love them. And they're so kind in person, and they were so welcoming as our first retreat. But I had finished a pillow that I brought for display, my very first one. And one of the very kind attendees gave me a tip to put it between like a stack of heavy books to flatten it a little bit, and that would give it shape. So this one I haven't had a chance to flatten yet, and you can see like it'll just be nicer when I can flatten it a little bit, but I literally just finished it. My tag just popped up. I try to always put a tag on the back because I'm not good about stitching my initials and the date. And so these I have gotten from Ever Emblem. I buy my quilting labels from them, and these are just little iron-on labels, and this just says Stitched by Holly. So if you are looking for something like that, Ever Emblem is a great company that you can order from. Another thing I started last week, actually I started it probably 10 days ago, but I was waiting on permission to share it from you. I think I had told you that I was privileged to be a model stitcher for Kathy Barrick for her cookie cutters. And I got a message a couple of weeks ago that she has more cookie cutters coming out and asking if I would like to model stitch again. And I said, yes, I would. So she sent the linen, and this is needle and flax. I always get these two confused. Thornfield. This is Thornfield, and then she sent the NPI silk for it. But I'm not finished, but I've come a long way, and this will be one of her next cookie cutters. Isn't it cute? Let me see if I can really show it to you. Obviously, I still have this one side of the lion to fill in a little bit, and then it's a full coverage piece, so then I have to go back in and fill in all of the background color. But I just thought I'd give you a little sneak peek because Kathy said I could. Okay, those are what I've been stitching. And when I finish that lion, I feel like I'm caught up with the two things I was working on. So I went through my whips trying to decide, do I start something? But then the disciplined Holly says you really should work on some of your whips. So here's what I've pulled out. I think on my first Flosstube I showed you Martha Walmsley by Hands Across the Sea. I think it's so fantastic. And I ordered my kit from Hobby House, and so this is the called for tabby cat linen and the 103 silks. And this is where I am so far. I think since I last showed you this, I think I've added this piece right here. But I think I have a page finish, and then maybe I'm into a second page, but I love it. So that's something I want to work on once I finish my lion. And then the other thing that I pulled out that I would like to work on, again, I know I showed you this early on. This is a Kathy Barrick, and it is AH to EE, and it's a Quaker sampler. And I started it with my friend Kia from Kia Bee, and we chose the same linen. I cannot tell you how many times she's told me the name of the color, and I cannot tell you where I've written it down, but this is a Lakeside that we found at Craft Gallery together, and I'm stitching it with a 103 floss. I love it too. This is the highest stitch count I've ever done, and it is, oh, I didn't write it down. I think it's 5360. So I can only work on it a little bit at a time. That's why I don't have much done, because my old eyes just can do a little bit and then they need a break. So those are the two things I plan to work on next as my whips. I think I will show you what's come in the mail. Want to see? One of the things that has come is the subscription box from Stitch Folk. Barry makes amazing bags. When I'm at the hospital, there are times I spend the night, and I'll text my husband the next day and say, will you bring me my mail? And so he brings me my mail so that I can go through it while I'm at the hospital. And this is one of the things that he brought me. So Barry has a subscription box, and in it you receive one of her amazing project bags. Look at that embroidery on this project bag. Oh. And then this time she included this strawberry zipper pull. I don't know, can you see that? Sorry about the dangling, which I loved. I think this is the container, the little bag the zipper pull was in. I'm going to save this and somehow put that in my book of days. And then she included 2 matching project cards. Aren't those cute? And look at the sticker. I'm assuming this is Strawberry Thief. And then I believe she said her daughter made these melts. And this is strawberries and cream. And these are melts. I'll tell you, I think there was strawberry themed candy and I put it in my backpack, but I haven't even opened it yet. But I will. Those are the kind of things I stick in my bag for the hospital. Oh, no, I forgot this. Look at these neat, these pens, these marking pens that she made and sent. And I thought this little bottle was so cute. Let's see if I can put something behind it. There, can you see that better? Oh, I think that's amazing. I don't even know if I want to use them. I think I just want to display them just like this. So cute. Okay, I told you that. Let me tell you about some haul. One of the items that has arrived, and I know Shelly just talked about this today, I am in the Queen City Sampler Guild, and they are offering some Zoom get-togethers and in-person get-togethers. And with life the way it is for our family right now, the Zoom ones are great, although I haven't been able to join because you know where I've been. But Kathleen Littleton was going to do a class, and it got changed to a Zoom class. I believe it's April 17th. I think I just looked at the email. But this week, I got the kit for the class, and this is what we are going to be stitching. I think I've told you before about my love for Bristol samplers. And so this is an adaptation that Kathleen made based on a couple of the samplers in her collection. And so we got these, this book with the chart and the linen and 2 spools of 103 silk. We also got some of her floss cards. And then she also sent some information, which I'm enjoying so much. Another set of charts with some of the more popular Bristol images that you would see. And I'm excited to add those into something. And then a scroll through samplers that is hers. So I'm very much looking forward to this class. And I was excited when the kit arrived. Let's see. I need to cool it on linen, but I've ordered a little bit more linen lately. Anytime I'm finding Lakeside, I'm trying to order it. And one thing I've learned is with 123 Stitch, you can click notify me and they will let you know when they get some. And I had asked to be notified when they got this maple sugar Lakeside 40 count vintage linen. Isn't that pretty? I don't know if it's showing true to color. This is looking a little more purpley than it really is, but it's not. Or if I put it up against this, if it would be any better. Does it still look purpley? Maybe. It's beautiful. So I got 2 pieces of that, a smaller and a large. They have it listed so you can choose what size you want, and that's what they'll notify you when it comes in. So I thought that was fun. Let's see, I'm going to save this. I ordered from Rachel, who has Treehouse Fiber Arts. And I love Rachel, first of all, and I love her shop because a lot of times she offers a full kit. She doesn't offer a huge number of charts. She sort of curates things and then she'll kit them up. So this is one of the things, I believe this was on sale, maybe because it's springy, but this is Jack's Sweet Shop, Wilhelmina by Plum Street. And it came with all the floss. So I'm excited to start that. I keep seeing beautiful things by Gigi the Artsy Housewife and had not bought any of her charts yet. And I love this Grace. I'm sorry about the glare. So I got this from Rachel with the floss. I have a group of friends who want to start Channing Street together. And so I ordered Annie B's Channing Street. Trying to remember who just showed this and didn't stitch the animals, and I thought that was a great idea. Who was that? I'm sorry if it was you. So our friends are going to start that pretty soon. I saw this at Stitch Away. I saw the model and it was so beautiful, and I did not buy it, and so I finally succumbed and bought this Kathy Barrick Santa North Pole. The model was beautiful. And so I'm going to put that up with my Christmas stitching. And this chart was something that Rachel had. And it's birds of a feather, but it sort of reminded me of some of the things from Blackbird that I like. And so I bought that. It's a small stitch, and I thought that could be something quick to whip up, and that was pretty. Then I ordered from Chantelle's 141. I thought I ordered a market order from her, and I sent her a message this week, and I said, I'm just checking to see if my order shipped, and she didn't have anything because I probably forgot to finish the order. So she sent me my order that I then actually did place. These are also by Annie B's. This is Many Mansions. This is new from Nashville. And this is Down in the Valley, which I believe is also new from Nashville. So I think I'm on an Annie B's kick. Don't you love their Flosstube? She and her daughters are great. And then Chantelle's boards are amazing. The quality is so nice. And my problem is I'm never sure what I want to finish. And so this time I just ordered a few things. I've been showing you finishes that I just keep sticking in a box, and it's going to be time in a few weeks to do some finishes. So I ordered 2 of these. This is the Everything board. And then I ordered it in the small and the medium and the large. So I hope to get rolling on some of those things. I need to apologize to you that the spammers got us this past week. I'm so sorry. And I think it was my fault. I'm such a newbie. I tried to delete them as soon as I saw them. Some of you were very kind to let me know what had happened. So I went through and I reported and I deleted. I hope none of you fell victim, but I will never message you that way to say you won. I will definitely say your name on my next Flosstube when you have won something from me. So again, I apologize, and I'm just sorry there are icky spammers out there. But let's talk about that giveaway, shall we? You all were so kind in your comments, and I really enjoyed them. One of the first things that I was offering last week was the Happiness is Homemade Nashville cookbook, because I accidentally bought 2. So you had to use the word cook, and the winner of this is Anita Meyer 9465. Excuse my messy writing, but I wrote it right there. So if you will contact me, I did not go through, and I should have. Please be over 18, and don't use the icky words that would entice the spammers to come. So Anita, if you're over 18, contact me. If you're not, we'll redraw. That's okay. And then I ask you to use the word funny in reference to my funny Blackbird duplicate story. And so the Come Into My Garden chart is going to Raybab Fatima 3356. So if this is you, please contact me. My email is below. Also, I need to make sure that you are also over 18 so that you can send me your address. But thank you all so much for all the comments. That was very, very fun. Okay, this time I had mentioned the By the Bay Needle Arts But God chart was coming out, and that I would like to host a SAL. So that came out, and here is what that looks like. And I love that she also includes a bookmark with some of the scripture that the reference "but God" is taken from. And actually it came with 2, so I love that. And in honor of this SAL, I bought 2 copies so that I could give one to you. So let's see, in this time, let's use the word flower, because of this big flower on the chart. So if you would like to have this chart, please use the word flower in your comment. Please be over 18, and please don't use the words like giveaway, prize, etc. I appreciate that. But I want to wait until those who want to participate have their charts. And I know Mrs. Smith Stitches, she and I were talking on Instagram. She has really nice Flosstube. She was just ordering hers today, and I know she's in Canada, so I want to give people plenty of time to get started. When I'm stitching, I don't have a lot of rules, and that's the same for a Sal. Let's just stitch it together. Is it too flexible if I say let's just start it sometime in April? I'll probably be pulling my floss maybe today, but I'm not going to start it for the next week or so because I would like to wait for you all to join with me. So let's start it the first week of April. How about? And again, By the Bay Needle Art, But God is the name of the chart if you would like to stitch along with us. I hope to make a quilt today, and I think I mentioned that earlier. I have the most wonderful book club. We started meeting together when my youngest two daughters were graduating from high school. And so these are parents who have children who graduated with my younger two daughters. And that has been probably 12 years that we've been together. And through those 12 years, I didn't know them very well at the time. But since then, we have been through loss of parents, loss of spouse, children with cancer, that was my kid, hardships, and then joys and delights, celebrations and weddings. And so when the first grandchild came along, that was me, and they showered me with such nice grandmother gifts that when they started becoming grandmothers, I began making quilts for each grandchild that arrived. And so since I haven't been home the last 7 weeks now, I haven't really had time to make a quilt for one that's coming soon. So I have a whole quilt kit that I had ordered from Morgan Kelly Stitches. Oh, she does beautiful fabric pulls, but this is going to be my front and my back, and I'm just going to do a whole quilt, whole cloth quilt, and I'm just going to quilt it nicely, bind it, and that's going to be the quilt for this baby. Sometimes my quilts are more fancy for them, and sometimes they're simple, but it just is a way for me to show them that I love them and their babies, and so that's probably going to happen today. Can I show you one quilt that I made? Let's see if I can get a really good spot to show you. Okay, this is a fun side. My friend Teresa, the garden goose, had asked me probably a year ago if I had made an I Spy quilt, and I didn't know what she was talking about. So she was explaining it to me, and then Woodbury Way, love her quilting also, had shown her pattern for this. And so I started collecting I Spy fabrics. And what I mean by that is when they're together, you can play with a child like, okay, let's find the lipstick. I spy, something with my little eye, lipstick. And so then the child has to find it. So I made this quilt and I finished it in time for Christmas. My grandchildren had so much fun. They sat on my lap and we spread this quilt over all of us. And then I would ask, I would say, I spy with my little eye who sees a whale, and they would find the whale. Oh, long time. And this ranged from my 3-year-old grandsons all the way up to my 10-year-old granddaughter and everybody in between. Just had a really great time playing that. So this is a super simple quilt. So if you are a beginner, start collecting some fun I Spy fabrics and make yourself one, or make your grandkids one, or make one for a gift. I hope that you will have a wonderful Easter tomorrow, however you choose to celebrate it. And I know that I tell you this all the time, but every day is a gift. Please go and love well today. I'll see you next time.